Hello, sewing friends. It's time again for Sewing in Trifocals. I'm Allison, your hostess, and you will notice I got the logo facing in the right direction this time. I'm very proud of myself, and I have a happy little sewing hack today. Are you feeling sad because you can't afford a sewing machine with a built-in laser that cost about as much as a used car does these days, like $14,000? Well, feel sad no more, because I'm going to show you a cheapo sewing hack that I learned from several people on Pinterest and on the internet. And here it is. This is a woodworker's laser, and it does have sticky stuff on the back, which gets unsticky pretty quick, and it has magnets, but as you might be in the same situation as I am, a lot of the exterior of your serger or sewing machine is made of plastic, which is not magnetic. So the tip was to use these 3M command strips. They're really for hanging pictures. And this $6 laser, I got it online on Amazon.com, but you can go to any hardware store and get it. Same thing with these command strips. I understand Home Depot and Lowe's carry them, and you can see that they're the press and stick kind. You just peel off that little piece of paper on the back, and this is similar to Velcro, except that there's not a loop on another side. These two are they're like little pieces of grass, but with a nubby on the end, and when you push them together, they click. And I've used this before on my Christmas napkins that I made last year, because I really wanted to be sure I was sewing straight, and this particular machine doesn't have any inch markings here, and it doesn't have like a seam guide or anything on this serger. So this helps me keep my sewing neat and nice. And I'm very happy about this, I need to take in my undergarment at the sides by about 5/8 of an inch on each side. I'm not quite as huge as I thought I was, so that was kind of happy. I've been kind of working on that. So I have pinned it, and this is where the edge of a 5/8 inch seam would be if you were sewing on a sewing machine that didn't cut anything. And of course the serger is going to cut, so you'll have a 1/4 inch seam left over, but where the left edge of the sewing would be, the distance to here, if it weren't cut, would be 5/8 of an inch. So I'm taking my sides in 5/8 of an inch, and I'll show you how I do this. I do turn the lights off, except for the serger light, which if you turn it off, that means the serger's not running. And this way I can see the laser on the edge of the fabric, and it's a really big help. And I guess it cost me probably $8, $9, $10 total between the laser and the command strips. The only thing I might say about this laser is it takes tiny little button batteries, and they get used up quick, or quickly, shall I say. So I bought about 100 of them. They're not very expensive, but if you're sewing a lot, you're going to be changing out your batteries every so often, maybe every hour or two. But it's a small price to pay for a really nice little hack that isn't going to cost you more than a used Nissan does. So here you can see how very bright this laser is when I have most of the lights off. And I want to tell the Brother Dream Machine people and the Baby Lock Destiny people, I'm not disrespecting your machines. If I had that kind of money, I would love to have one of those machines, and maybe I will someday, probably on time payments. But anyway, this is my equivalent of these dreamy, fancy sewing machines right here. Okay, so I've got everything more or less adjusted. I really am going to get a camcorder one of these days, because I've got the phone propped on a little ink pen box again. Let me snip this little piece here, and at least you'll be able to see how helpful this really is. I'll sew a few stitches anyway. Lifting up my presser foot, and you can see I'm going to line up the right-hand edge of the, let me move that pin, the right-hand edge of the laser beam there is at 5/8 of an inch. So all I have to make sure is that I line up my fabric with it, and this is actually going to be a curved seam, because it's my hips and they're not straight up and down. So here we go. I sewed this kind of slowly because I am doing a curve and I want to be pretty accurate. So here's how it looks. In fact, I'm going to show you from up here I'll guide this with my left hand. See how nifty that is? It's very helpful. I wasn't born knowing how to sew straight, so this is quite a big help. So anyway, that's my, about $10 total sewing hack. You can see here I added a little more command strip up here so that this little laser will stay up. I hope you enjoyed this little hack, and I hope that it will be useful to you too, and keep on sewing.